What's up, y'all? That is a tune called The Bird in the Bush, and it was a request that came through over TikTok. Feel free to sign up on there. I've been posting a lot more like quick response type of stuff on there, so if you get like a quick question, you might get a better response with a video on there. So check that out if you want. In the meantime, let's break down this tune. So it is a reel in G. It starts off on the high D, your second octave D though. And then back around for the second half. So that's the whole first half there. It's kind of a notey tune, covers a lot of range. It really spans a fair bit of the whistle. And that's just kind of how it goes. Some tunes move around a fair bit, others don't. I'll play the second half, and then we'll come back and get the whole thing all the way through. So. Funny story, I just learned how that B part ended correctly, just before I got to film this video. I always thought it went. Jumping up to that high G. It works, like as a harmony, but I think the real melody is... There you go, fun little fact about me. I learned this tune the wrong way. Let's play the whole A part all the way through, nice and slow. How'd that go? Did you make it through most of that? I hope so. Let's dive into the B part here now. As is fairly common, as you might expect, jumps up to the second octave and in fact goes all the way up to the high B. So keep in mind for shrillness, neighbors, family, pets, all that, we're going to be spending a bit of time up in the upper octave. Feel free to drop down to the lower octave if that suits your eardrums a little better. I'm going to play it up in the octave just so we know. So here we go, basic melody, B part. So we're up in that upper octave, we finished on that high G. It's going to jump back up to that high B again. Here's the whole second half. So fortunately, the last half of it is the same way that the ending of the A part ends. So you get to reuse some of that at least, hopefully a few fewer notes to learn. Anyway, play the whole B part all the way through, just see how much you can hang on with. So here we go. And I just did my weird ending too. Either way works, the other option. Right, so you can reuse that if you want to. Let's talk about some ornaments, because hopefully you were able to start thinking ahead a little bit as we were working through the basic melody. There's some long-held notes, there's some repetitive triplety kind of sounding notes. So refresh your basic melody on the A part. Right, so right off the bat, you're holding that high D. Now I will usually cran that, or you could triplet up to that. And then a quick short roll on that B, rather than just 3 Bs back to back, back to back. And as I land that phrase, I'll bounce off of that G, kind of like a bonus F sharp in there, sort of landing on that and then rolling off it. or a roll. That works just as fine too. Couple of quick things there. As I come down, it's a real subtle bonus popping ornament there. That earthquake ornament that I've talked about. Couple of quick short rolls there. And as I go to that transition to jump up to the octave, that's one of my favorite little tricks to do. Go for, in this case, I'm going from B, A, and then to a triplet. That really cool popping effect you get from that very specific triplet, B, C natural to D. And I finish the phrase with a short roll, sticking that high note, that highest note in the phrase. As I come back down, I'll double tap that F sharp. All kind of the same stuff there. Then to finish, if I'm playing what I now know to be the correct B part, or sorry, the correct finishing of that phrase, it's a little bit awkward on the whistle because you're bouncing between the octaves. I don't do a whole lot. I'm not going to do a whole lot. Maybe an extra grace note on that E. And as I land that phrase on the A, I'll do that earthquake popping ornament to accent that. But otherwise, I'm not really doing a whole lot. Tonguing to separate the notes, I suppose. That's worth mentioning. And finishing the phrase, a nice short roll. Actually, no, I take it back. I'm doing a triple roll. Maybe a bit excessive, don't really have to, but it's a cool option. Now I'll triplet up into the B part pretty much every time. Again, it's my favorite ornament to do, and it's a great transitional thing to get up there. And a nice long roll to finish the phrase. We've been doing short rolls pretty much every time so far, so it's kind of cool to be able to throw in one of those. A little bit of a different sound. And it's really 4 G's in a row, so I'll throw an extra tap in there. Could cut it if you wanted to. Could just tongue it. Either way. Yeah, on there, really all I'm just doing is that double tap on the F sharp. Yeah. And then another triplet to get back up the scale, back up that phrase again. Good spots for long rolls there. We're into that shrill phase where it's the upper octave. The amount of complexity you want to throw in there is sort of related to the amount that your whistle will handle. The higher up you get, the more likely it is to break those notes, so be aware of that and feel free to simplify if you wanted to. But just cutting those, tonguing those to separate them, and good long rolls on the A and the G. Because again, we haven't really had a chance to use those yet. So, and as I just kind of barely kiss that high B as I'm coming off of it, mostly to save my own hearing. And I'll just do that by tonguing it as soon as I hit the note, pretty much tonguing it to cut it off. Yeah, back to the short rolls. We're kind of back into short roll territory. Nothing there except that double tap on the A. Not really double tap. Earthquake ornament as I go popping from B to A. Short roll on the B, otherwise nothing there. Finishing the phrase the same way. Hopefully that helps. Let me know what y'all think of this tune. It's one that I'm glad got recommended or requested because it's cool and it doesn't really come up that often. Just as I'm messing about. Comes up in sessions a lot. It's a good common standard session tune, so hopefully a good one to get. Let me know what y'all think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.